From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting, originating from the County Administrative Center located at 1115 Truxton Avenue, Bakersfield, California. Kern County's vision is to create and maintain a customer-centered county government designed to garner the confidence, support, and trust of the people we serve. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2 p.m. session of the Board of Supervisors meeting. Today is Tuesday, August 13th. Board to reconvene. The first item is roll call.
Supervisor Gleason.
Here.
Supervisor Scribner.
Here.
Supervisor Maggard.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Thank you. The next item is a report on actions taken in closed session. County Council.
Good afternoon, Chairman, members of the board. Following this morning's board meeting, you met in closed session on items 34, 35, and 36. There is no reportable action on items 34 and 35, and item 36 was continued until Tuesday, August 20th at 9 a.m.
Thank you. Next item is the consent agenda. All items listed with a CA or a C above the item number considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. We can act on those all in one motion. This is your time if you would like to make a comment about any of those items or request separate consideration of any of them. It will take a board member to actually request separate consideration. Consent agenda starts on page 2. It consists of items 3 and 4. On page 3, items 5 through 8. On page 4, items 9 through 12. Page 5, items 13 through 17. Page 6, items 16 through 24. Page 7, items 25 through 30. And then items 32 and 33. But item 32, staff would like to have that given separate consideration, so that will not be on the consent agenda today. We'll have that heard separately. And on page 6, items 34, 35, and then 37 through 39 are on the consent agenda. And lastly, on page 9, items 42 through 49. Is there anyone here that, did I make a mistake?
Mr. Chairman, we need to read a correction into the record on item 22.
You're right. On item 22, I need to read into the record that on the agenda, on the second line where it says Granite Construction Company, it should read Bowman Asphalt Inc. I believe that the board letter is accurate, but that needs to be corrected. Is that right?
That is correct, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Okay. With that correction and with those, with the one item 32 being left out of the consent agenda and given separate consideration, is there anyone here that would like to make any comment on any consent items or ask for separate consideration of any of them? Yes, ma'am. Please come down and, is that you, Gustavo?
Yes.
How you doing?
Yes, we would like to make some comments on item 5.
Would you like to make, why don't you make your comments right now, and if we think we need separate consideration, we'll talk about that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Your board, as you know, several communities and organizations, we have been participating on the general plan since, I think, start planning on late 2016, engaging the communities. And we have some comments on the proposed contract with the consultant firm. One of the concerns that we have is that looks like the consultant is planning to hold 16 community meetings in 1 or 2 weeks period. And we think that that may be very difficult to really engage communities. I think, if I'm correct, some of those, even considering the option of having back-to-back meetings, like more than one in one day, we don't think that's the best way to engage community. So at least I think the proposed plan is to divide the communities within the valley, mountain, and desert. At least we request for the county and the consultant to hold those meetings if it's in the valley, not the same day, because several of our organizations that have been working with communities, we want to be part of those meetings, and if it's more than one meeting in the valley, it will be impossible for we, the organizations, to be there with the communities that are being with us throughout the process. That's one request. And also in that line, looks like those 16 meetings with communities, to get community input, it will be a little bit late in the process. I think ideally is we request that for the county and the consultant to hold those meetings at the beginning, so you really get the input from all the communities and include that feedback from the communities in the draft plan, because it looks like, the consultant is going to develop a draft plan after several meetings with stakeholders, but not the residents. And ideally, I think residents should be engaged early in the process. So there is real consideration for communities' input. We also don't see the time frame for those meetings, where they are going to happen and when. I think if that can be better defined, that will be great. Also, as I mentioned, together with communities being engaged, the definition of disadvantaged communities we have had with Mrs. Lorelei and other county staff, trying to start the conversations around that. We have, comments, we have ideas, what this should looks like, and we wish to continue being engaged in that, developing that language. Also, it's not clear that this process is going to include, what will be the environmental health or how to deal with the environmental health in the updating the general plan and including language to, ensure that moving forward in the process for the future, there is environmental health language to support, the clean air and clean water and, all those things that affect our health. So those are the main comments that I have.
Okay, there's a little bit to unpack there. Would you like to make your comments too before I turn to our director? I'm sorry? I can make them there quick. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, board, chair and board. My name is Jasmine Del Aguila with Leadership Council for Justice and Accountability. And I have a few but important comments to make in regards to the consultant's contract. I've been able to read and review the contract and saw that it's broken down into 7 phases. However, echoing kind of what Gustavo was saying, that there's no timeline to go along with this. So we'd like to know if there's any internal timelines that we should be aware of just to better prepare ourselves and residents. That will be like the timeline within the county staff and consultants, just so that we can be more prepared. Also, we see that in phase 2, it's dedicated to community engagement, and we want to ensure that when you do hold these county-wide community workshops, it is in a space in which folks can tell you their concerns and how they envision the future of their community, and that staff is actively listening to them, so taking up more space in hearing what residents are concerned and envision, and less of like talking at residents. And informing them of conditions that exist, because I'm pretty sure residents know what conditions they are living in. And then 3, really quickly, is just to make sure that us as organizations, grassroots organizations, or Leadership Council in specific, are included and invited and welcomed into all 3 of the issue groups, and not just one. And this is all because we firmly believe that collaboration, where everybody's on the table, will make a more stronger document to be able to reflect the desire that the county really has to move forward in a healthy, safer environmentally friendly way. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there, let me pause there for a moment. Are there any other comments on item 5? Ms. Sylvia, do you want to respond to any? I don't know if this is the out of order to do this the way I'm proceeding, but I'll just proceed this way. Do you have any comments? I'll proceed this way until somebody tells me I shouldn't.
Thank you, Chairman Couch, members of the board. Lorelei Oviatt, Director of Planning and Natural Resources. What you have in front of you is consultant's agreement under the direct direction of a general plan planning team. The consultant is not actually doing any of this. It's all under the direction of the planning staff. We have had monthly meetings with the people who have made these comments, and we will continue to include them. They are the ones that helped us pick the 16 communities, because we can't go to every community with the budget that we have. We have explained the process. The process is to start the workshops. As you remember, we had a year-long project where we listened to all the communities. We went to each planning commission with each issue. We provided your board with an issue. We are not stopping with our community engagement, but the next step is the workshops, and the workshops will include all of the environmental justice groups as well as all the other groups that we're not meeting with every month, including the business community, the Chamber of Commerce, the healthcare developers. So Healthy Communities is one of the work groups. There's nothing in this contract that changes that, and we will be looking at our air. We're looking at the 6 phases we talked about: a water element, a military installation element, a Healthy Communities element, as well as the priority projects element and the other ones that we worked our way through these work groups. So whatever schedule's in here is fully at the discretion of the planning department, and we had discussed that schedule a number of times in these monthly meetings, and we will make sure that there is adequate residents' input. We will make sure that during those workshops there's adequate opportunities to bring ideas forward. But we have had 2 years of community input, and it is time to focus in on the issues that they have raised, move into these work groups with this consultant's contract. It has taken us a number of months to do the consultant's contract based on the input from a variety of people. I would ask that your board allow for the planning department to manage this contract with the general plan team, and I give you my commitment that we will continue to work with our community engagement groups.
Thank you. I think you have, I just heard your commitment to continue to work with them, and I believe you have the board's commitment to do the same. So I don't see a need necessarily, and nor do I see any lights on to remove that item for separate consideration. Are there any other items on the consent agenda that I mentioned that anyone else would like to make a comment about or request separate consideration of? Seeing none, I'll return it to the board for a motion on the consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Perez.
Thank you. That takes us back to page 2, item 1, public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter that is on the agenda, not on the agenda, but under the jurisdiction of the board. Is there anyone here that would like to make a public presentation? Yes, ma'am. Please state your name and proceed.
My name is Lisa Checkley. I want to thank you, gentlemen, all and ladies, for handling my issue in Roseman with my pot shops. We did have 3 closed down. Unfortunately, they opened the next day, but I do appreciate the gesture from you, gentlemen, very much so. The reason I'm here today is to talk to you about our homeless issue in Rosemont. 2 years ago, we serviced about 23 homeless in Rosemond. As of yesterday, we're looking at over 100. So it's becoming a bigger and bigger problem. We do have a lot of different organizations there that do try to help with the issues as far as food banks, cooking breakfast and lunch. We have a shower trailer available, but nowhere to set it up. We have a group that's willing to open up a homeless shelter, but nowhere to open it. So I'm coming to you guys asking for a little bit of help, guidance, direction, somewhere to start. I have reached out to the Homeless Coalition a few times, and I haven't heard back from them yet. So I'm hoping to kind of hear back from them and get the ball rolling as far as servicing our homeless, because it's becoming a big problem in our area. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public presentations?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair and Board of Supervisors. My name is Brad Coach, and I am the owner and manager of about 450 apartment units that are in Kern County. They are all affordable housing units, and I just want to today address the board on Ordinance 8828, which was passed earlier this year without any input from quite a group of us that all represent affordable housing projects. I know that the county used a mailing service again to try to notify us, but it was unsuccessful, and none of us got the notice at all about this proposed ordinance that was passed. Just a little bit about affordable housing, a little bit about the vested interest that you guys have in us, and we represent collectively approximately 3,000 apartment units that are in Kern County right now. That ordinance that was passed took the solid waste providers and took contracts that we had with them to provide services to our apartments, and in fact included them now on the tax roll. And we all represent deed restricted properties, which doesn't really give us an opportunity to charge more rent for this type of services, nor do I believe that the service itself is being proposed as to be increased on any of our properties. And unfortunately, the rates that, the minimum rates that have been passed in that ordinance are all going to result in a substantial increase in the amount of money that we all have to pay the providers. And so I would just like to ask for three things from the board: a reconsideration of 8828. I'd like to ask for a review of the rates that are being proposed and charged. And I'd like to, what's our third thing? Refer back to Public Works for dialogue with some of us. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Coach, C-O-A-C-H, is that right?
K-O-A-C-H.
K-O-A-C-H, thank you. Any other public statements today? Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good morning. Afternoon.
My name is Lori Kester. I'm the Executive Director for Corporation for Better Housing, also known as CBH. CBH is a developer and owner of affordable housing for low to very low income individuals and families. We've constructed 24 developments in Kern County and 15 in Bakersfield alone. We house over 6,000 of the county's most vulnerable people, including seniors, farm workers, single parents, and families struggling to get by. I'm here today to ask for the board's reconsideration of the ordinance number G8828 due to its significant impact on affordable housing in the county. Affordable housing developments are constructed to provide housing to the county's poorest residents. They are financed using a combination of federal, state, and/or county funds. In fact, the County of Kern has invested millions of dollars in county resources for the development of affordable housing. Regulatory and financing agreements require the developer to make long-term commitments to provide housing at substantially reduced rents. With the adoption of Ordinance G8828, trash costs at our developments are projected to increase over 40%. And in fact, one of them will be nearly 50%. Due to the unique and restrictive nature of affordable housing, our ability to pass through expenses by way of rent increases is not permissible. In order to maintain financial viability of our assets, we are now forced to explore and perhaps eliminate non-essential services in place at our communities. This will impact the county's most vulnerable constituents. I respectfully request the board review the economic impact of this ordinance, review the process of the rate determination, and provide relief from the egregious rate increase which we now have been forced to absorb. Thank you.
Thank you. Other speakers?
Good afternoon. My name is Michael Lambert. Thank you, board, for allowing us to speak to you today. I wanted to bring also to your attention the negative impact of Ordinance G 8828, which is the universal solid waste collection charges that are placed on the tax roll. We have two specific buildings that are impacted severely, and they're in Supervisor Gleason's district, District 1, both on Victor Street. Very nice buildings, Harmony Court and Summerhill Family. Harmony Court is a 96-unit senior building, and the impact of this being placed on the tax rolls has increased our trash costs by 47%. On the Summerhill Family, which is a 128-unit family complex adjacent to Harmony Court, it's increased it approximately 6%. In both cases, our level of service has actually decreased. We used to have 3 times a week pickup. Now it's 2 on both projects with the same number of bins. Slightly switch out for some recycling bins, but the same number of bins. So in both cases, our level of service has gone down, but our amount of cost has increased significantly. You know, the direct impact on this, as mentioned previously in the affordable housing communities, is we have regulatory agreements that we're governed by the state of California and the federal requirements to cap our rents at a certain amount. For instance, our one-bedroom apartments are about $574, and our two-bedroom apartments can range between $679 and $876. The only opportunity for us to increase rents are annually when the area median income rents change. And then, of course, you have utility allowances that have to be applied. So we are definitely capped on our upward side of our investments and how we can provide services to our residents. So I'd like at this point to request that the board reconsider the ordinance, refer it back to Public Works if that's the appropriate path that it should travel. But I also would like to invite Supervisor Gleason to come out to our properties and see what kind of landlords we are. And I think you'll find us to be exceptional in our product. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Lambert. Any other speakers today?
Good afternoon, Chairman and Board. I'm Ann Toyloy from Affordable Housing Development Corporation. We also have low-income housing in Kern County. We, along with the rest of the group, are asking for you to reconsider the action you took regarding garbage. I know you saw a lot of pictures that showed you that there was a lot of trash in apartment buildings. A year and a half ago, you passed a similar bill. We were exempted from it, and we're asking that you guys reconsider that exemption. If you look at the time that has passed, none of our properties have been cited for excess trash. We all have a limited budget that we can work with, as they've explained to you. There's limited amount of funds, but we have provided adequate trash, and we are good citizens who continue to provide affordable housing that I think you would be hard-pressed to tell the difference between affordable and market rate housing other than in our rents. We are again asking for you guys to reconsider, to send it back, and to eventually take this off the roll. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers? Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Board. My name's James. I'm with Wynn Residential. I did bring some spreadsheets of 12 different properties to show the income difference. Between the 12 different properties, the old rate and the new rate is an increase of $79,853.04. This is just 12 properties. There's more than 12 properties. This is just 12. It is a substantial increase. It does, if we have to pay this increase, it would cut back services to the residents, or we have to give somewhere because we can't increase the rents. Some of the rents are as low as in the $300 range for the poor or the farm workers. We do manage quite a bit of properties. So I did want to let you have these spreadsheets so you can actually see numbers. When we met with Public Works did not realize the increase department. So they were surprised to see these numbers also.
Just leave them with our clerk.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers today? Supervisor Maggard.
Thank you.
Would like to jump in? Thank you.
James, is James your first name, sir?
Yes, sir.
Can you come back up, please,
Yes.
James? Do you want to give us your last name or just prefer not to?
Oh, Burrs, B-U-R-R-U-S.
Thank you. When did you speak with Public Works about this?
A couple years ago, they had a similar thing that came up where the properties went to tax roll. We had a meeting with the director of Public Works at that time, which has since retired. She actually reversed the decision. I don't know if she reversed it with the board or not, but she reversed the decision and we went back onto billing. Then as the new Public Works director came in, she said that she doesn't have the right to reverse the decision, turn around, put it back into place. So we met with them 2 weeks ago? About 2 weeks ago. There's two different issues that's happening. One is, of course, the substantial increase. But the second issue that's happened is both times none of our owners has received notices. Like they have last time we met with them 2 years ago, we all personally gave them every single address we had, made sure they knew how to contact us, gave them emails, phone numbers, and once again, another, resolution was passed without us being notified. They did notify us that they use a third-party milling service.
So I want to connect you with the person who is the director of Public Works. You've described two females who were the directors of Public Works. We never had a female director of Public Works. The director of Public Works is that gentleman with his hand up over there, Craig Pope.
Okay.
So, Mr. Pope, could you get with them and exchange contact information so you can begin a dialogue? And then either Mr. Pope can bring it back to us, or if you don't feel it's going in the right direction, you can come back and ask us. But I think I suggest that we first have you begin to dialogue about what the issue is so we can flesh it out a bit, and then we'll see if any action's appropriate.
Okay.
So, Mr. Pope, could you get with them?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
folks.
Your request today, I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
We did meet with him just 2 weeks ago. We met with both the assistant director as well as him. And I think they understand, where we were coming from in terms of collectively the group in all affordable housing developers and managers. So.
Well, let me say it this way. We didn't know that, number one. So number two, Mr. Pope, I think Supervisor Maggard, for all intents and purposes, why don't you want to formalize that with a motion?
Certainly, if that's necessary. Why don't we hear from Mr. Pope, and then we'll see if we need to do it.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I'd recommend a motion back to Public Works. This is a fairly big topic, and there's lots of pieces to it, so I'd recommend a motion to refer it to us, and we'll come back with a report in about a month.
Thank you. So I'll make a motion that we refer it back to Public Works to dialogue with the affected group, and that you'll bring back a report to us in a month.
Thank you.
I'm going to second that, but I need your address to find out where I need to come visit. So if you could, yeah, you could be here for a while, or maybe you could just...
Thank you, Supervisor Gleason. It is, they're both on Victor Street. They're right next to each other, 5948 Victor and 6200 Victor.
5948?
And 6200 Victor, right
Okay.
next They share the property line, so.
Thanks. I'll give you a call. Do you have a phone number? Or
I
don't-
do.
don't-
In
don't-
fact,
Okay, just leave that there. We'll take care of it.
Okay.
And I'll second the motion.
Okay, you have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Thank you. The motion is approved, 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Perez.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pope. Thank you. You bet. Thank you for coming today. Are there any other public presentations? Seeing none, we'll go to item 2, which is board member announcements and reports. Seeing none of those. So our first item, item 31. Okay, item 31 is a response to the June 18th, 2019 referral regarding the county hiring a dedicated grant writer for grant opportunities. Mr. Alsop.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Mr. Wiebe of my office is going to handle this item today.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, if you'll briefly indulge me before I talk more specifically to this item, I just want to recognize some recent accomplishments by staff in this area. In fact, just in the last week or so, as your board is aware, we've been awarded a $380,000 grant to identify land for an off-highway vehicle park. We were notified just yesterday of a $15,000 wildfire prevention grant from the California Fire Foundation for Kern County Fire to provide education on wildfire awareness and use GIS technology to spot wildfire trends for vulnerable communities based on risk. Also been in the news, we've just submitted close to $40 million worth of requests and grants for 5 disadvantaged parks in Kern County: Potomac, Virginia, Heritage, Mojave East, and Lamont. And we're in the process of submitting an application under Prop 68 Trails and Greenways Grant Program to expand existing trail systems and promote access to the Kern River Parkway Nature Park and riparian area. And that anticipated formal application period is later this month. So I think the timing of the referral was great because as grant opportunities begin to expand and emerge, this is a great time to expand that opportunity and make sure we seize any opportunity available. So to make sure that nothing is missed, staff today is recommending that the county publish a request for qualifications to secure the services for up to 3 firms that will strengthen our position to secure grants. The RFQ will specifically ask for quotes from qualified firms that can provide any critical services related to researching, identifying, developing, and submitting grant applications. The county will only pay for services as they are used on an on-call basis, and none of the selected firms will be guaranteed payment until such services are requested and retained. In summary, having a source of knowledge, skills, and experience from firms that have a proven record of winning grants gives the county greater flexibility and broader expertise to increase our grant success rates year over year. So the recommended action today is that your board receive and file this report and approve staff to issue a request for qualifications, which can be ready in a matter of days to publish. And I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Wiebe. Would you like to jump in there before we open it up? Is there anyone here that would like to speak to this item? Seeing none, I return to the board for questions, comments, and action. Supervisor Maggard.
Thank you. Thank you, staff, for bringing this report back to us. I'm excited about the opportunity to spend some money to make some money. And we've done that successfully already in-house. I appreciate your help with that. I want to, today we know what the tone of this is, but these are words on a paper. And someday people are going to look at words on a paper, and I want to make sure there's no confusion about one line in it. So about 2/3 of the way down is a paragraph that begins through the RFO process. The next to last sentence in that says, with the stipulation that the county will only pay for services requested by county staff. I want to make sure that there's no misunderstanding that we are hoping that they may bring to us many opportunities that we have not requested. They will bring them to us, we can evaluate them and then direct them whether or not they should proceed with pursuing them. But I want them to look beyond just what we're aware of.
Supervisor Maggard, through the chair, absolutely. We're going to develop a process, probably through our current grants manager in the CAO's office, Ms. Amanda Ruiz, to vet all opportunities. So as either these firms or county departments bring opportunities to us, we will have to approve them to make sure they're fully vetted and there's mutual agreement to use this service. So these firms won't just be billing us for things that they're doing on their own, but there's a mutual agreement between county staff and the firms.
When I looked into it the first time, though, I was discussing with one firm how they go about their business, and I was hoping that they could, what in the vast array of opportunities in the world are there that might apply to us? So I just want to make sure that we're looking as broadly as we can through them and not just at our direction. So I think you've made that clear. Thank you very much. I'm happy to support this and will move that we, I guess it's only receive and file. Do you need more direction to initiate the process? Does that require an action by us?
Supervisor Magner, through the chair, I'm requesting that the board does approve staff to go ahead and publish the RFQ, which we do have a draft and will be ready in a matter of days to publish.
So Ms. Rezan, the recommended action is to receive and file. Can I make a motion beyond that so we don't have to come back to this again?
Supervisor Magner, through the chair, yes, in this instance, I think you can.
Very good. So I would motion that we do receive and file and authorize staff to proceed with the process of doing the RFQ.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Perez.
Thank you. Next item is item 32, was removed from the consent agenda. And we're going to hear items 32 and 36 concurrently. And I think we only need one motion to approve both of those items. Both of those items are recommended actions to receive and file. 32 is a Distinguished Budget Presentation Award received from the Government Finance Officers Association for fiscal year 2018-19, recommended for our fiscal year 2018-19 recommended budget. And 36 is a report on the Achievement of Excellence in Procurement Award for 2019. Mr. Alsop.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm happy to let you know that my office was notified by the Government Finance Officers Association, also known as GFOA, that the recommended budget, our recommended budget for fiscal year 2018-19, has received the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. And as a recipient of this award, my office has been presented with a certificate of recognition for budget preparation. Both the award and certificate represent a significant achievement and reflects Kern County's commitment to meeting the highest principles of governmental budgeting. This is the 4th consecutive year in which the county has received this recognition. And according to the GFOA, in order to receive this award, the recommended budget must serve as a clear and comprehensive policy document, financial plan, operations guide, and communication device. And I would like to thank our Chief Operations Officer, Nancy Anderson, for all of her hard work and leadership over the last 4 years getting this award, along with our CFO, Elsa Martinez, and the entire budget team, all of whom are here at various spots here up in the front. Amy Espinoza, who's probably not here because she's left our office for another position. So Amy, I hope you're watching, and thank you. Brent Curry, Alex Alva, Kaylor Ayala, and Joe Areola, who's last but certainly not least here. Of course, thank you to all of our county department heads. We've got a few in the audience today for their continued support, their work. We're happy to have that support from them, and I'd like to ask everybody to please join me in recognizing them for the achievement. Thank you. Would you like me to go into the next one, or would you like to comment at all, or you want me to knock the other one out as well?
Why don't you knock the other one out, and we'll comment at the end.
Also pleased to let you know, board members, that we've been notified that our county was awarded the prestigious 24th Annual Achievement of Excellence in Procurement. It's an AEP award for 2019 from the National Procurement Institute, Incorporated, also known as MPI. This marks the 9th consecutive year that the county has achieved this prominent award. Kern County is one of only 45 agencies in California and one of only 42 counties in the United States and Canada to receive this award this year. In 1995, the National Procurement Institute, MPI, established this program to recognize organizational excellence in public procurement purchasing. The AEP award is earned by public and nonprofit organizations that obtain a high application score based on standardized criteria. The AEP is awarded annually to recognized innovation professionalism, e-procurement, productivity, and leadership in the procurement function. The AEP is nationally and internationally recognized as the gold standard for achievement of excellence and best practices in the profession of public procurement. Separately, I'd like to point out that our purchasing team initiated back in September 2017 a Lean Six Sigma project where we've worked with many of our current contracted county vendors to secure reductions in the cost of services that they are providing our county. I'm pleased to report that at the end of last month, the total savings of that effort by this team is nearly $5 million in savings. So many thanks to our generous county vendors who willingly responded back during our economic crisis, offering to cut costs and implement new programs to achieve cost savings without sacrificing quality. And I wanted to say a special thank you to some people. Thank you to Jeffrey Hill, our Chief General Services Officer, for his work and leadership on these efforts. I want to say thank you to Sandy Formhals. All of these folks are in the audience. She directly oversees the purchasing business that we run. And a special thank you to the team of hardworking people, I believe all of whom are here, I hope. Carol Cox, maybe she's not here, I didn't see Carol, but Carol Cox, Leticia Rojo, Saren Von Wallace, Laura Davis, Cynthia Nicholson, Amber Peaker, Terry Tinico, and last but not least, Pamela Wilkins, all of whom are here. Please join me in congratulating them on a lot of hard work and achievement. Thank you, guys. With that, thank you.
Thank you very much. Any comments from the board? Supervisor Gleason?
Couldn't do it without you. Great job, outstanding job. It's another testament to Kern County and how great a job we're doing across the board. Thank you very much for all your professional services.
Can I drill down a little bit on that? Only 45, I don't want to put you on the spot here. I think you said only 45 agencies in the country or in the state? Which
yeah, I'll repeat that. This is the 9th consecutive year that our county has achieved this prominent award, and our county is one of only 45 agencies in California. Those are nonprofit and public agencies in California, and one of only 42 counties in the United States and
Wow.
Canada to receive the award this year.
That's amazing, guys. Thank you. That's great work. And I think you guys sort of go unnoticed. I mean, when you win an award 8 times or 9 times in a row, they start to expect it out of you, I think. But it's great work. Thank you very much. We need a motion on that to receive and file. I'm sorry, did you want to?
Yeah, I did.
Had you punched in for that? Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. If you're one of the folks whose names were just mentioned or part of that team, would you just wave at us so we can see? There's a lot of people in the room, but it's a lot more. Thank you for doing that. I just want the public to recognize it's a lot more than just the face or two that sit at that microphone and report to us. A significant team is necessary to make that happen. So congratulations and thank you very much for your outstanding work. We don't take you for granted.
Is there anyone here who would like to make a comment, a public comment about this item before we take any action on it? Seeing none, I'll return to the board and just request a motion to receive and file items 32 and 36.
So moved.
Second that.
You have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved, 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Perez.
Thank you. That takes us to items 40 and 41. We can hear these concurrently, but we're going to need a separate motion on each. Item 40 is a proposed memorandum of understanding with the Kern County Sheriff's Command Association and Bargaining Units N&R. And 41 is a proposed memorandum of understanding with the Kern County Sheriff's Command Association 3 for Bargaining Unit Z. Mr. Alsop.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Mr. Brown, our Chief Human Resource Officer, will handle this item.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Chairman and members of the board. The items before you are 2 proposed MOUs with 2 of our bargaining units that represent our management staff in both the Sheriff's Office and the District Attorney's Investigations Division. A little over 3 weeks ago, your board authorized our office to make a proposal to this group and another group to make our employees with the Sheriff's Office the highest paid law enforcement officers in Kern County and among the highest paid in the Central Valley. The MOUs before you are the product of that proposal and subsequent negotiations with our Kern County Sheriff's Command Staff Association, who represents our commanders, lieutenants, and district attorneys' lieutenants, and our Kern County Sheriff's Command Staff Association 3, who represent our chief deputy sheriffs and our chief district attorney investigator. The MOUs before you propose salary changes for each of the classifications to make sure that they are the highest paid positions in Kern County. We looked at all local jurisdictions throughout the county and the Central Valley, and the proposed salary adjustments for those take those jurisdictions into account. They're not all equivalent because some of the classifications are varied, but these changes will place each rank in line with the other competing local agencies, most notably the Bakersfield Police Department. The proposal also seeks to build in current special pays such as the 10% management Kern flex pay and the 4% fitness pay into the new base salary range and do away with those particular programs for the bargaining groups. Upon adoption, each current employee would be reclassed into the new salary range at a salary step that is immediately above their current total salary, including those special pays. And the reclassification would ensure that no current employee receives a reduction in total salary. In fact, many of those employees will now have the ability to earn an additional salary step over the course of this next year. In addition, the MOU proposes to add 2 5% special pay allowances for achievement of the supervisory and management certificates from the Police Officer Standards and Training Commission. And all members are eligible to receive the management certificate pay, and the district attorney's lieutenants are now eligible to receive that supervisory certificate pay. The final component of the proposed compensation package is to increase the uniform allowance by $400 annually to achieve parity with our Bakersfield Police Department's uniform allowance, and to add a new uniform allowance for our district attorney staff of $650 annually. The MOU also covers additional non-economic changes such as winter recess for these employees, which our current management staff that are unrepresented have within their policies and procedures, and the addition of Veterans Day as an observed holiday for these bargaining groups. We've also proposed changes to the catastrophic leave pay policy to be consistent with other bargaining groups and unrepresented employees. And we are proposing a new shift differential pay for the staff assigned to the watch commander role within the Sheriff's Office. We've been pleased to achieve this agreement with the bargaining group. They tentatively agreed to it a little over a week ago, and it's been a pleasure working with those employees who are represented by this group. And we're excited that to implement this particular proposal that your board authorized us to do with these 2 MOUs. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have regarding these. I don't believe anybody from the bargaining group is in the audience unless Chief Davis wants to speak on their behalf, but their representative is unable to attend today.
Okay. Well, in spite of the fact that he's not here, is there anyone here that would like to make a comment on this item?
Afternoon. Tyson Davis, member of the Kern County Sheriff's Command Association number 3. On behalf of the members of the association, we'd just like to say thank you for coming to an agreement with us, and we look forward to working with you in the future for KCSCA 2.
Thank you very much. We're glad we were able to do that so easily.
Thank you.
You guys do a great work, great job. We appreciate it very much. And we appreciate the way these negotiations went, especially. Supervisor Maggard, would you like to say anything?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please extend that to your members.
Yeah. You need a motion to, we can vote separately on each. We need to vote separately on each. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. I did want to add that I appreciate the patience of this group. They've been without an MOU for little over 4 years, and we've been working through that contract since then. And so that's an example of a group that's recognized the financial troubles that we've gone through and the difficulties that your board has faced over the course of that time. So I did want to add that as well. Our recommended action is for your board to approve the attached memorandum of understanding, authorize the chairman to sign, and direct the auditor, controller, county clerk, Kern County Employees Retirement Association, and the Human Resources Division to implement the changes contained in the MOUs.
So moved. So moved.
You have a motion?
Second.
And a second, please cast your votes.
The motion is approved, 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Perez. That's for item number 40.
Item number 41 is an identical motion to approve the attached MOU between the county and Kern County Command Staff Association 3, authorize the chairman to sign, and direct auditor, controller, county clerk, Kern County Employees Retirement Association, and the Human Resources Division to implement the changes.
Again, so moved.
I'm sorry, Mr. Alsop.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I beg your pardon, I just wanted to ask Mr. Brown to, if he can say when those changes are effective.
Certainly, upon approval of your board, some of the changes will be effective immediately. The compensation changes are effective with this pay period beginning on Saturday, so 4 days from now.
Okay. Is there do I need to ask for public comment on this item, or did I ask for that on both already?
It went on both.
Okay. So,
I'd like to add to my motion just my commendation to both of your groups for making sure that your members are enjoying these increases as soon as possible and not delaying them. So good for you guys.
was that a motion or a second?
That was a motion.
Okay.
I'll second myself if that will help. But.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved, 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Perez.
That brings us to the end of today's agenda, and that's a nice note to end on, so I'll even step it up a little bit and let you all know that Monty was adopted moments after Nick got back to the Animal Services Building. We need a motion to adjourn to Tuesday.
Are all these animals going home to your house?
No, I'm full up on those. We need to adjourn to Tuesday, August 2nd at 9 a.m. That's what I meant, Tuesday, August 20th, 9 a.m. Thank you. Without objection, we're adjourned. Thank you.